All right. So we've talked about feeling your feelings without judgment, taking care of your immediate needs. Okay. And then number three, we're going to rebuild trust within yourself. Okay. So the first, maybe not most important, but the first step in rebuilding your trust in yourself is for me to just remind everybody that this work is about you. It's not about your husband. So, a really important step within this rebuilding trust within yourself is to let go of your husband's behavior. Because the husband's behavior is going to be whatever it is, and you have no control over it,
Mhm.
even though you desire to have control over it. Or he might say that he's, I don't know, whatever his behavior is, like it just doesn't matter. That's over there, and we're not dealing with his behavior because he's got to deal with that. Okay. And that's part of his rebuilding trust with you is for him to manage his own behavior according to the contracts that you guys have now spoken out loud and decided what you want your marriage contract to include and not include. Okay. And then he's got to figure out his behavior. That's not your job. Okay. So your job is to heal your own heart. And then once you're healed and ready, that's when, like, he has now, throughout that time while you're doing your healing, is hopefully healing his own relationship with his self. And now all of those little moments of him healing his own relationship with himself are like little beads of trust that are slowly getting deposited into your relationship.
Right.
Okay. And if instead he's continuing to abuse and break that trust, that's something else that you can address for your own personal boundaries when you get to the end of your healing process. But you don't have to worry about his healing and his behavior right now. Okay.
Well, I would
So for
say
you,
you can't worry about it. Because again, if we go
can't.
back to the injury, somebody who has double broken legs can't carry anybody else.
No, no.
And I know, like, from my experiences with, betrayal with my husband and all different things, but you want to control his behavior because it's all about boundaries. What it means is it's the easiest fix for you. If
Mhm.
he
Yeah.
fixes his behavior, then you don't have to face all the ugly that you might have to face. Should I
Right.
stay with him? Should I go? If I go, what the hell does that look like? If I stay, what the hell does that look like? Does that mean I put up with the same crap I've been putting up with? And that's the next 40 years of my life is the same crap I've been getting? Or am I now like a divorcee with kids and daycare and all my thoughts and getting a new job and like all those thoughts? So the easiest thing is, well, he just needs to fix the behavior. If I could just get him to fix his behavior, but you have two broken legs. You ain't
Yeah.
carrying
Well,
nobody anywhere.
no. And Ruth, you used the words the easiest thing. And your point is what may seem like the easiest
Yes.
thing. Because the reality is changing somebody else's behavior is impossible. Like
Sure.
definitely not the
Yes.
easiest thing. It's literally impossible. You
Yes.
cannot change somebody else's behavior.
Yes.
You can you can manipulate people to be better at hiding things, but
Mhm.
you cannot change somebody else's behavior.
Yes.
So the most important, and usually, oh, this is what kills me. The majority of the couples that find themselves in this relationship find themselves here because the husbands were engaging in behavior and dealing with it their own way and really wanted to protect their wives from having to feel negative emotion. And so they hid it. Like that's usually what's going on here.
Mhm.
Like they knew it was wrong and they didn't really want to be doing it. They're not really addicted to it. It's not really affecting their day-to-day life. And they just didn't want to tell their wives because they
Mhm.
didn't want to hurt her feelings and like make her feel less than. And
Mhm.
then it comes out, however it does, right? And then all he is confronted with every day is how he's hurt his wife
Mhm.
and how she doesn't love herself anymore and how she's comparing herself to, these pictures of women that to him doesn't even matter. Like,
Mhm.
so it's tricky because like he's obviously dug himself into his own hole. Um, but all he ever wanted was to save you from feeling like you can't trust yourself and that you're not worthy.
Yeah.
And so it's important that you do the work to heal your own self because that genuinely is what you need in order to heal. You don't need his behavior at all. You just need to heal yourself. And it's also what, if you're in a loving relationship that trust will eventually grow back, it's really what your husband wants for you too, is
Mhm.
to heal your own relationship with yourself. And he feels terrible for having broken that for you. So, um, yeah. All right. So we're going to stay out of husband's actions. That's the first step in rebuilding trust with ourselves. Okay. There are many ways that he can support this healing process for you, but ultimately, this is about you. And if you find ways that he can support you, like, hey, when you tell me that you've looked at porn, I need to go for a drive for until I feel better, until I can like talk to you, which means you need to watch the kids. So that's our new deal. Like, when you look at porn, you come and you talk to me about it. I need to go for a drive before we talk about it. Like, or whatever it is, right? I mean, that may not be at all what it looks like for you, but like there are definitely ways that he can support you. You figure out what those are. Go watch the boundaries episode and then figure out how to make sure you keep those boundaries based off of your needs and not out of a desire to control other people's behavior.